Oh, we're on, okay. Good morning. How's it going, Megan? All righty. You can tell everybody's here. No. Well, the good news is I got all the summaries graded, and I've actually started on that monster class. I've graded, I think, 6 out of 94 character analysis. That's, well, yeah, and you know, but I started grading theirs, and so it's been, today's going to be an easy day. How are you doing on the rough draft?
Okay, so the rough draft, I'm a little confused. Well, I said it goes, is the rough draft over, like my topic was death penalty? That's
Right.
what it's on, right? That's
Okay.
what I'm doing.
Yes, that's what you're going to write on. So it's, which is, you never turned in a summary.
Okay, on the summary, what am I summarizing? My paragraph that?
No, the article, the first article you found, you summarized that article.
Okay, yes.
Okay?
And then that was the one where it had the,
The citation, you have to do at the bottom you do the paraphrase.
it's in my backpack because I remember I wrote it because you said Ratty because of my Microsoft list.
Right, mhm. So,
Some days it works, some days it doesn't.
okay. I'm part of a club on a solitaire game. And I don't, you know, I play like sitting on the pot, you know, or just like in here, I was like, okay, I got a couple of minutes, and I just don't know how people can play as often as they play. You know, I have some other games I play, and there's people, and they're constantly, and I'm like, I have a job that I can't play games and grade at the same time. So it kind of freaks me out, I guess, is the way to think of it. So. Okay. Just, let's see. I'm gonna see if anybody's registered for for spring yet. And it's really confusing to me because they always stick the semester coming up on top of everything else. Surprise, nobody's registered.
When do you have to register?
It opened Friday. So you actually technically have until the first week of class in January, which Lord only knows when it starts. Good morning, everybody. Let me, let's see if I can find. Okay, there's the academic calendar. Now I know how to get it without doing that. Okay, so registration opened Friday. Yeah, that's one of the things I want to talk to you guys about. Registration opened Friday for the spring. And I was going to make sure you've got the right numbers if you're going to register for taking 1302, which is not as writing intensive as this semester. It is a literature course. So we're going to do a project, then we're going to write a character analysis because that's the best thing I can think of to do. It's an easier essay than some of them. And then we have, I'm not sure if we do another project. Yeah, we do a poetry project. So that's what's coming up in that. We're not gonna be writing all these papers and doing all these drafts. It's more about reading literature and understanding what's going on in a piece of literature. So you might find that next semester is a different class. We are tied to the text. We're not as heavily into the text this semester because, you know, you're supposed to read the stuff. We have the quizzes. Oh, and I think I'm short one quiz, so here's the good news. I'm just gonna go in and put that in the grade book and just give everybody the 15 points. There's a extra credit for everybody, and you don't even have to have done anything. Does that sound okay? Or would you rather take the quiz? Anybody want to take the quiz? Okay, make sure, yeah. Somehow I knew that was gonna be a popular thing. It's just easier than trying to set it up, and I'll just have to remind myself to put that quiz in for next fall, for the next set of ITV kids, okay? So, let's see, the fall payment, what is that? Fall 2021. Oh, okay. So, residence hall, the campus opens back up on January 2nd, and let's see, oh man. But I don't see spring 2022, where is it at? It's hiding somewhere. We've got so many there we go. Registration is, so January 13th, you have to pay for the spring semester, or made the arrangements to pay for it. But class will not start until, first day of class is January 18th. That's the nice thing about college, it's better. By the way, Ms. Reed said she did remember you, and you were not near as bad as you think you were, okay? She was going, I know, oh, she goes, no, there wasn't, she said nothing negative, sweetheart, okay? Nothing negative, I just want you to know, all right? So, if you're gonna take in the spring, which is the literature class, for the high school kids, it switches to 1302, and it's gonna be the same section for you guys, 441. If you guys are interested in taking the same class in the spring, it'll be 1302, but it'll be, it's 200 next semester, is the same time, okay? Because sometimes it's confusing, but you can register now. It's open. So the good news is the high school ones stay the same. It's just, there's a slight difference between this class. It has a slightly different section number. I don't know how that happens. You think they would be consistent. You think it would be nice if it were 201, 200, 201, 202, 203, but that doesn't work that way. I'm not the one numbering them. So that's what's going up there. So you need to register for the spring, and payment or arrangements are required by, I think, January 13th, it says. So be aware of that, all right? And so if we've got excessive numbers, you know, if you get in, we'll probably have to do some expanding of the numbers in the course, because this is the biggest section I have, so. Don't panic. If you can't get in, we'll get you registered, don't worry, okay? The other thing that I want to talk to you about is about course evaluations. They opened up Friday, or they're opening up today. So if you've noticed in Blackboard, when you go into Blackboard, that on the left-hand menu, there's always a course evaluation button. It doesn't matter which of your courses you're in. But for you guys, must be, you know, English is one of those. All you do is click on course evaluation, and it will give, it says no surveys were found. If it doesn't open up today, it's opening up sometime this week, okay? But they said to be sure and talk about it. You just click launch my course evaluation, and for every class you have at SPC, it will open up a window that shows you all your classes. It doesn't matter if you do anything in Blackboard or not on it, the evaluation is handled through here for all the classes. It's all online. They would greatly appreciate it if you would do them. They give me the results, and, you know, I always consider, you know, it's hard to, you know, we're being evaluated by our students, and it depends on what kind of day a student has had, what their last grade was in your class. That affects a lot of stuff too. So, I mean, I once had somebody accuse me of being prejudiced, and I was like, excuse me? I don't come off as prejudiced, do I? Stupidity. Yeah, I'm prejudiced against that, but they had gotten a paper back and they hadn't done well. It was a developmental class. And then by the end of the semester, they'd passed the TSI and whatever. So it's one of those things. You're really surprised when somebody says that. But it's an easy thing to accuse people of. All right, so that's my course evaluation. That needs to be done, okay? And so let's talk about the rough outline. It's in there. It is a required assignment. It's part of your 1,000 points. Don't ask me what your average is in the class. It's not an average. It's a point total. Technically, if you have 900 points out of 1,000 points, there is an average going on in there, okay? It's easier for me to not have to do averages. I just put the point total in and I know what your grades are. Kids at the high schools, when I turn in your grades to the SPC, you get a number grade. You don't get a letter grade, so don't freak out. And I'm not responsible, but the distance learning will send it to all the counselors, so just as heads up. So don't ask me what your average is, just look at your point totals. And we still have we've got the argumentative essay, we've got the rough outline due, we've got peer revision, so that's 150 points right there. You have a final, which is 100, so that's 250, plus another discussion board that is worth, I know we're getting at that point where we're thinking, how much time is left in the semester? There's reflective writing, it's worth 75 points. So there's about 325 points left, plus a grammar quiz, so 350 points left. So you can kind of gauge what your grade's gonna be right now, because all the summaries are graded and returned. Okay, so that's where we're at. So now I wanna talk about, I could talk about rebuttals, but let me phrase it this way. You need to have a section in there where you handle one of the counter arguments. Good morning. You handle the counter argument. And so the rebuttal is refuting, saying what's wrong with the counter argument. If you don't have it, it won't be a major loss. It's only gonna be maybe 5 to 8% of the grade on that, okay? Because it's not something I'm gonna spend a whole lot of time on, all right? So if you don't have it, it won't kill your grade, but make sure you get the length. You've gotta hit that 600 word minimum. That's without the works cited, okay? So, I just got another email. Okay. You've got me worried. Oh, yeah, and then on Wednesday, I'm gonna give you time to work on your rough outline. So in the class on Wednesday, if you are having trouble coming up with sources, all you have to do is send me a course message and I'll try to find you at least one, okay? I'm willing to do that on Wednesday. I'm not gonna teach, because, if I try to teach much of anything else, it's not gonna happen. And that's where we're at, so. But remember, the rough outline is due Friday by midnight. I'm just responding to somebody's email in this class. Okay. So now we're gonna talk about, I never got there. I was gonna go into the textbook. One of the things you were supposed to have glanced over, and I'm gonna go with the notion that you probably didn't, is dangling and misplaced modifiers. Those are some of the more enjoyable things for me to have come up in a paper is when something's misplaced, because it's kind of a quirky thing that happens, because the meaning, in English, the meaning is how it's set up in the sentence, and we think we know what it's saying. A lot of times that's not actually what's going on. So let me see. Okay. I'm just opening up the textbook real quick, but before I get into there, I do want to show you a PowerPoint. This is a PowerPoint. Of all the PowerPoints, this is one I created on my own, because there's just something quirky about it that makes me happy. I don't know why, because sometimes they happen and they change the meaning of the sentence, and you guys think it sounds perfectly right or it's acceptable, but in English, modifiers go, most of the time they go right next to the nouns they modify, okay? So this is what that's about. And they create confusing sentences, okay? So here we go. There's the first one. So the man shot the deer with a gun. Pretty obvious what's going on, right? The man shot the deer with a gun. We know what's happening. But in that sentence, the way English is set up, the man shot the deer with the gun. In the sentence, the person holding the gun is the deer. But we know that a deer doesn't have opposing thumbs or fingers, so they can't hold a gun, right? So that's what's funny. I used to draw this on the board, so you guys have been spared my inability to draw pictures very well. I draw stick figure deers and stick figure people, so it doesn't work out. So that's a misplaced modifier. But because we know that that's not actually possible to have it happen, hey, we don't think anything about it. So another one is, one morning I shot an elephant in my pajamas. How he got into my pajamas, I'll never know. Groucho Marx. one of the Marx Brothers, not my kind of comedy, but a lot of guys appreciate the Marx Brothers, okay? So what you're seeing there is a man, shot the deer in my pajamas. The elephant in my pajamas. Elephants don't wear pajamas, but that's what it looks like. So, I didn't draw that picture either. I found that online. All right. So now we've got misplaced modifier. Spitting out hot lava. My friend took photos as the volcano erupted. So people don't spit out hot lava unless you're some kind of new Marvel superhero, right? Possibly. So we know it's the volcano. So my friend took photos as the volcano erupted. Spitting out hot lava should go after volcano erupted, not before my friend. And then we've got, she saw a puppy and a kitten on the way to the store, okay? So the way that one's done, the correction, it means that the puppy and the kitten were on their way to the store. It's that simple. That's misplaced modifiers. But it's cute, because look at the puppy and the kitten, okay? And I think that's it. Oh, no, here we go. We rented a boat from my friend with 2 motors. And so Marvin says that, and Sam says your friend has 2 motors because the boat's with the one that has the motors. Modifiers go next to the word, say modifier. Remember on the apostrophe quiz, for possessives, they have to be right before the noun they modify, or they could be one other adjective in between them. That's what it is. You just have to have in English, the modifiers have to be close to each other. Or the modifier has to be close to what it's modifying. And I think that might be the last one. Oh no, she nearly combed her hair for 10 minutes each night. That is a confusing sentence. So you can see, she nearly combed her hair. This is what nearly combing is. I nearly combed my hair. I'm near to it, but I didn't comb it. That's what nearly combing means. She combed her hair for nearly 10 minutes each night is how it should be. So nearly, that adverb needs to be over next to 10 minutes because that's what it's modifying. So as I come across them, I try to save them. So that is dangling misplaced modifiers. And guess who has, Chomp Chomp has a section on that, but we're going to actually, let me go into the textbook, page 552. Wait, open up. I know that's not your section, but again, come on, load in. Okay, so here are some more misplaced words. Logan couldn't drive to work in a small sports car with a broken leg. The sports car had a broken leg. The toaster was sold to us by a charming salesman with a money-back guarantee. The salesman had the money-back guarantee? Oh, forgot to put it on the computer. My bad. So they've italicized what's misplaced. The salesman had a money-back guarantee. Here we have, he nearly brushed his teeth for 20 minutes every night. He brushed his teeth for nearly 20 minutes. See how it's got to be closer. So here's one. You underline the misplaced word or words. So I can't say it. Frozen shrimp lay in the steel pans that were thawing rapidly. What this happens is the steel pans are what are thawing rapidly, so frozen shrimp that were thawing rapidly, that's how you fixed it. The speaker discussed the problem of crowded prisons at the college. That's interesting that you have crowded prisons located at the college. That would not be an ideal place to have crowded prisons at. Okay, so the patient talked about his childhood on the psychiatrist's couch. So it would be his childhood that took place on the psychiatrist's couch, so you need to say the patient on the psychiatrist's couch talked about his childhood. The crowd watched the tennis players with swiveling heads. Do you see how those are now that you're looking for it, you can see. That means that the tennis players had swiveling heads, not the crowd. The crowd, you would go, with swiveling heads, the crowd watched the tennis players. Vonnie put 4 hamburger patties on the counter, which she was cooking for dinner. That would mean that the counter was being cooked for dinner, not the hamburger patties. Vonnie put the 4 hamburger patties that she was cooking for dinner on the counter. See what we're talking about by misplaced modifiers? Steve carefully hung the new suit that he would wear to his first job interview in the bedroom closet. The job interview is taking place in the bedroom closet. Steve carefully hung in the bedroom closet the new suit that he would wear to his first job interview. The novel was about a pioneer family that Annie had borrowed from her cousin. okay? So that would be, she borrowed the Pioneer, that Annie borrowed the Pioneer family. So the novel that Annie borrowed from her cousin was about a Pioneer family. You see what's going on there? Oh, I'm sorry, I thought it said the late, I was like, he's not dead. The latest Denzel Washington movie has almost opened in 2,200 theaters across the country. A little bit harder to fix that one. The late Denzel Washington movie has opened in almost 2,200 theaters across the country. All you have to get rid of is that almost. Okay? You have to move it over to the number of theaters. Okay? I don't need a flashcard. Okay? To be cooked properly, the chef advised us to place the casserole in a preheated oven. What's being cooked properly? The chef. The chef advised us to place the casserole in a preheated oven to be cooked properly. Does anybody preheat an oven? I've turned it on and I stick the food in right away. I just add some extra time. I don't have time to wait for that. The tenants left town in a dilapidated old car owing 2 months' rent. The car owed 2 months' rent. The tenants owing 2 months' rent left town in a dilapidated old car. The plan was to construct a church on an acre of land made of brick and stone. The land is not made of brick and stone. The plan was to construct a church made of brick and stone on an acre of land. See how it's that simple. I discovered an unusual plant in the greenhouse that oozed a milky juice. I discovered an unusual plant that oozed a milky juice in the greenhouse. So that's what you deal with. So now we're going to go over and we're going to do some on Chomp Chomp. Oh, hold on. And I need to check, I got an email I need to check real quick. For the SPC students, there is a South Plains Food Bank box. I've got the email so big I can't see it. So if you need help with food, you can sign up with the Get Help form beginning November 25th for food from South Plains Food Bank. Not a bad deal. Okay. So let's go to Chomp Chomp. No, it's not Chomp Chomp. There we go. Again, a really handy place to go. And we've got misplaced and dangling modifiers, so we're going to have our fun with the waving of the hands and all that stuff, okay? So remember, this is A, this is B. We're going to cross our hands over our chest, and maybe I can see it. C, and then D is jazz hands. We switched to jazz hands on Tuesday. It was a lot easier to do jazz hands. But there shouldn't be that many Ds, okay? So, interactive exercise 1. I haven't done these in a while, so it should be fun for me, okay? I get cold. It's supposed to be 80 degrees today, 85 tomorrow. That's crazy. Okay, recognizing misplaced and dangling modifiers. In a clear, logical sentence, you will find most modifiers right next to the words they describe. The waitress served Gilbert a plate of gravy meatloaf sauced with lumpy gravy. Notice that sauce with lumpy gravy, a participle phrase, follows meatloaf. It's a target noun. If there's too much distance, the modifier is misplaced. Sauce with lumpy gravy. The waitress served Gilbert a plate of gray meatloaf. Okay. The waitress. Okay, so if the sentence fails to include a target, the modifier is called dangling. Studying the unappetizing plate of food, all appetite was lost. Who is studying the appetizing plate of food? You have to have someone studying it. So that is a dangling modifier. We assume that Gilbert is the one. So, okay. So now we're going to bite first to avoid getting bitten. Start here. Okay. So read the sentence below, then decide whether or not it contains a misplaced or dangling modifier. All right. So A is hands up, B is chest, crossed over the chest. Okay. And let's start off with Crosbyton. Okay. Emma Sue was, I make it bigger. It's kind of small up there on the screen. Okay. Gotta go. Yeah, it drives me crazy. I'm gonna try to get it up there. Get this down. Okay. Emma Sue was delighted when Professor Nugent returned her perfect calculus test with an ear-to-ear grin. So yes, this has a misplaced or dangling modifier, or no, this sentence is error-free. Emma Sue was delighted when Professor Nugent returned her perfect calculus test with an ear-to-ear grin. So what do you think? You're saying A? Yes, the sentence has a misplaced or dangling modifier. Let's see. Woo! Enjoy this juicy hamburger as your reward. That's just what you need this time of the morning, right, Crosby 10? As a juicy hamburger. Okay. Good job. And now the nice thing about this one is that you can always check your answers. Get the explanation down there. Tells you that with an ear-to-ear grin, a prepositional phrase is describing tests when its target should be Professor Nugent, because tests don't have ear-to-ear grins, unless your teacher puts a smiley face on it, okay? So go to the next sentence. All right, Abernathy, you get sentence 2. I just wish I could get rid of that. Scrubbing the tile grout with bleach and an old toothbrush, the mildew stains began to fade. So, your question is, yes, this has a misplaced or dangling modifier. No, this sentence is error-free. A or B? Scrubbing the tile grout with bleach and an old, I'm seeing that you're saying, is that A's? Okay. And hey, by the way, back row, if you can't read, if you'll turn around and look at the TV behind you at Abernathy, you can actually probably read the sentences more easily back there. See how much closer it is to you? Okay. So we're saying A. And so I'm curious. So A or B? Is it A misplaced modifier, or B, a dangling modifier? What do you think? A, misplaced, B, dangling. Ooh, that was a tougher question, wasn't it? Somebody's putting their hands at their chin, which is not quite an answer to anything. Let's go look at it. You're right, yes, the sentence has a misplaced or dangling modifier. We want to reward your answer with these sweet, tasty peaches. Yummy. Okay. Oh, there's applause. You can't hear it. So there's applause coming over the computer. Okay. So let's go look at that. It contains a dangling modifier. All right. We'll get the explanation on why it's dangling. Who is scrubbing the tile grout with bleach and an old toothbrush? You don't know who it is. That's a dangling modifier. Okay. They tend to come more often at the beginning because you're not sure what it's doing. So you'd have to say, I might say, Patty, scrubbing the tile grout with bleach and an old toothbrush caused the mildew stains to fade. You'd have to do something like that. You have to have a target. As Michael scrubbed the tile grout with bleach and an old toothbrush, the mildew stains. Okay. That allows you to know who's doing it. Next sentence, let's go to Lorenzo. To finish by the 3 p.m. deadline, the computer keyboard sang with Sylvia's flying fingers. What do you think? You're saying B, there's no error? I'm seeing cross chest. Let's see. The sentence is error-free. Ooh. Your wrong answer is affected with tarantula. Oh my gosh, ready to fall into shirt and bite. Oh Lord, that's gross. That is absolutely gross. Okay, let's go look at that explanation. Okay, that helps. So, to finish by the 3 p.m. deadline is what the problem is. Okay? It's not the keyboard. Okay? And it has no target in the sentence to describe. We find Sylvia's fingers, but not the typist herself. When a modifier has no word to describe it, it is dangling. So to finish by the 3 p.m. deadline, Sylvia made the keyboard sing with her flying fingers. Okay. All right, SBC, you two. Oh, wait. I need to do attendance. Okay. So we're missing. I dropped. I'll make that note. JC's not here. That's unusual. And Claire. Okay. If you want to grab hers and look at hers real quick, I'll let you can do that. Okay, sentence 4. Let's see. All right, here we go. Sheila watched, this is for you two, Megan and Zach. Sheila watched Desmond stuff his mouth with a cupcake frosted with vanilla icing. So, yes, this sentence has a misplaced or dangling modifier, or no, this sentence is error-free. What do you guys think? Sheila watched Desmond stuff his mouth with a cupcake frosted with vanilla icing. You think it's what? You think it's okay? What do you think, Megan? Okay or not? Yeah. You think it's okay? All right. Let's go. No, the sentence is error-free. Come on. Okay. That's interesting. You are doing the genius. There we go. Your hard work deserves this banana split. It's a big morning on this exercise, isn't it? We're gonna get nice motherfucker. Everything was right needed to do. All right, we're going back to Crosbyton. Perched on the curtain rod, the parakeet watched Rocky the cat slink behind the living room sofa. Yes, there's an error, or B, the sentence is error-free. What do you think, Crosbyton? Look, yeah, turn around and check and make and see what everybody else is doing. I saw you do that. Yes, I did. That's why I tended to sit at the back of the room, so I could see what everybody else was, no. Okay, I'm seeing B as their answer. What do y'all think? Abernathy, you think it's right? You paying attention? Working on your outlines? You know, this is a pretty casual day today. All right, let's go see. The sentence is error-free. Hello, Einstein. Have this bowl of chips as your reward for another right answer. They've got Doritos and a pretzel and some Cheetos. It's pretty cheesy. Ha! That was bad. I didn't mean to say that. You're correct. All right, next sentence, Abernathy. Groaning on Rusty Springs, the trampoline tossed the children like clothes in a dryer. So what is groaning on Rusty Springs? What is tossing the children like a dryer, like clothes in a dryer? What do you think, A or B? I'm saying B again. It's like, groaning on Rusty Springs, that would be the trampoline. Toss the children, okay, I think you're right. Let's see. Come on. All right. Oh, it's just taking its time, sorry. It's the ball swirling up here. Well done. Take a break and eat a crispy apple for that nice choice. I'm real picky. I love red rum apples and I can't get them anymore. I guess they're not growing them anymore. Okay, let's see. Lorenzo, wrapping the pencil on the edge of the desk, the fourth cause of the French Revolution would not come to mind. You got a clue, the teacher giggles. A or B? A says there's an error, B says there isn't. Okay. Everybody's gonna go with Alejandro, okay? Hey, no sling. Are you cured now? Yes or no? Yeah, all right, that's good to see. Yeah, they're saying there's an error. Because for one thing, wrapping the pencil on the edge of the desk, the fourth cause is wrapping? Yeah, that's gotta be an error. If you see me giggle, that's my bad. It's a giveaway. The fourth cause is not, oh, you get a chocolate chip cookies? Okay, that's okay. Oops. No, go to the next sentence. So we come to SPC. Slathering the popcorn with melted butter, the calorie count skyrocketed. What do you think, Zach? What do you think, Megan? Yes, there is an error, or no, the sentence is error-free. Slathering the popcorn with melted butter, the calorie count skyrocketed. There's an error? Zach says. What do you think? Zach, tell me what the error is. Because the calorie count's not going to be slathering the buttered popcorn, is it? So this is a dangling. You haven't said who's doing it, so let's see. A BLTL hot off the grill from my mom's grill. The worst thing is he's done is put it on raw grill. The good news is you're not going to be tested over this. I just thought it's a fun one to look at, okay? Inserted, back to Crosbyton, inserted in the group text reply, Charlotte included another selfie with eerie red eyes. What do you think? Yes, it has an error. B, no error, Crosbyton. They're saying, oh, little pyramids, that's so cool. Saying, yes, there is an error, because, look, inserted in the group text reply, Charlotte. Charlotte is inserted into the group text reply? No. Or that excellent answer, you won the delicious apple pie a la mode, that's excellent. I don't like apple pie. It's un-American, but I don't. All right, next sentence, Abernathy. Hungry for dinner, the surface is where Gert the goldfish waited in anticipation of food flakes. A, yes, there's an error. B, no error. What do you think, Abernathy? Y'all awake? Okay. Stretch your arms up to the sky. We should do some yoga. I hadn't thought about that. Not that I do yoga, so that'd be kind of crazy. But I am going to run today since it's going to be so nice. So they're saying that, yes, there is an error. So let's look at it. Hungry for dinner, the surface can't be hungry. Who's hungry? Gert the goldfish. I was afraid they were going to cook Gert, is what I was afraid of for a second. You have scored these crispy onion rings for the winning answer. All right. Those look like the kind you used to get at the little diner, the small diner in the town. Do y'all have a diner in Abernathy where you can get onion rings like that, not counting the Dairy Queen? That red checkered, I'm sorry. Just small towns get that stuff. Go to the next sentence. All right. Lorenzo. After the rainstorm, Jeremy walked his dachshund on a sidewalk covered in wet leaves. A, there's an error. B, no error. After the rainstorm, Jeremy walked his dachshund on a sidewalk covered in wet leaves. You're saying, yes, there is an error, Alejandro? Ladies? Oh, the ladies behind you are against you, Alejandro. We're going to go with majority rules. The lady says there is no error. Yeah, you better thank them. Delicious pizza and salad for that good choice. What else on that pizza? I'm sorry, I can see. Reminds me, I had a tomato basil pesto pizza at Alamo Draft House when we went and saw Dune. And I really should not eat that kind of pizza at 7 o'clock at night. It's not good for mine. It's not good for me, whatever. All right, you're correct. Good to go. All right, SPC, here we go. Lying under the dining room table, Noodle the poodle waited for bites of roast beef that Rosie sneaked off her plate. So lying under the table, what do you think? Noodle the poodle waited for bites of roast beef that Rosie sneaked off her plate. Who's lying under the table? Megan? Who's lying under the table? Yes, it's correct. No, yes, it has an error. B, no error. What do you think? This would be...
The poodle?
So is lying under the table. So can a poodle lie under a table?
Yes.
Okay. And waited for bites of roast beef that Rosie sneaked off her plate. So this has got to be correct. Okay. So be confident. All right. Super quick. Yummy lunch with a hot dog. Okay. Okay. So that's what I've got for today. I'm not going to... There. Hold on. Let me close that out. There we go. All right. So right now, if you need some help, if you're don't have enough sources, send me a course message. Okay? Now, I'm going to tell you, if you're writing on the death penalty, don't send me a course message. There's tons of stuff and opposing viewpoints on it. You don't need my help with that one, okay? If you do need something, so I'll just kind of be lurking around in the class, okay? So if you've got a question and need some help, what I'll do is I will find you one article and I'll send it to you in a course message. So why don't you just bring it to me? Since she's not here, I'll have to take it out. I can't leave it sitting out. I need to send her a course message. She's been a little bit missing lately, so. So that's what I've got. So you're good to go. Work on your rough outlines, or if you have a question. Remember, on that rough outline, you do not have to, I'm going to flip over here real quick. I'm just going to show you the first page. You need to have at least one supporting detail. So this is, okay. You need to have some kind of opening. your thesis, and it has to be argumentative. You have to say the death penalty should be abolished because it's not a deterrent, it costs too much money, and it is not administered equitably. Okay, there's your 3 reasons. So, it's gotta say your topics in it's gonna be, it has to be, capital punishment should be abolished because it does not deter crime. Supporting idea 1, give me that, in other words, supporting idea could be no criminal, whatever it is, no criminal does this. But details, you need to have at least one supporting idea underneath and a detail, which could be just the copy the title of the source that you're gonna put in there. But my best suggestion, again, this is available, and this week, the document is in, week 12. We're in week 12, there's 4 weeks left. And guess what? Next week is one of the weeks, even though I'm not gonna see most of you, okay? But you just come Monday. You have to go to your Monday and Tuesday classes at SPC, and don't worry about, the rest of the week is off, okay? So when you go into course content, go into week 12. Here's the rough outlines right here. Just click on it and go through and delete all the lines. That's my suggestion, okay? And that way, you're not gonna run into, and you can do it, you can do it pretty quickly. That way you can type and you don't have to worry about, see how how I can clean it up. You don't have to worry about dealing with those lines, because it's not a PDF, you can't write over it, okay? So, that's it, I'm done. You're done a little bit early so you can work if you need to, okay? Don't save. But the lines are there for those who want to handwrite that, okay? Ooh, bit early, but that's all right.
Your conference is scheduled to end in 2 minutes.